Well, we're really excited to get through last week and then start the new week and start to get some guys back, and really look forward to playing Arizona. They got a really good hockey club. It's going to be challenging on a lot of different levels. In the way they play hard. They've got some veteran guys, and they definitely have a lot of skill, and they can score some goals. So it's going to be a challenging weekend for us, and something we look forward to.
Great. We'll take any questions. Again, please use the raise hand feature. Laura, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. I noticed that ASU, they spent a lot of time on the penalty kill this year, and statistically, their penalty kill hasn't been the most effective. So what have you seen when you've been preparing your power play and special teams?
Well, they play physical, they play hard. So sometimes that ends up putting you in the box, and we've had some of those spots this year. I think anytime you play a weekend series, you have to be sharp and on special teams. I think we learned that lesson the hard way earlier this year when we went up to Northern Michigan, and they kind of killed us on the power play. Anytime we took a penalty, the puck was in the back of our net. So we have to be good in both areas, but we always work on the power play a lot. So we got to be prepared. And then from a defensive standpoint, they got some weapons on their units. So we got to make sure we're disciplined and we stay out of the box.
Robert, go ahead.
Coach, despite having that game against Brown on New Year's Eve, what is the thing that your team has focused on most of during this extended break?
We're just trying to get acclimated to playing again. Try to get the guys back in a little bit of shape. Last week was a little bit difficult to do because we weren't able to practice all the time. But we've done a lot of video work, whether it be live or through Zoom, just to make sure guys are dialed into what we're doing with our structure and how we want to play within 3 zones, off face-offs, special teams wise. So on the ice, we're trying to make sure we get our touch back and a feel for the puck, and try to get the pace of our practice up. We haven't gone super long because we haven't had a lot of bodies, but the pace has been high, and we want to make sure we get a lot of puck touches, because taking 2.5 weeks off and then practicing a few times, we want to make sure we get some touches in this week.
Laura, go ahead.
Speaking of not having a lot of bodies, do you have any idea how or who you'll have back for this weekend yet?
We'll have a lot more guys than we had last week, which is nice. But yeah, no, we're capable of playing. I think we talked earlier in the week. I talked to their coach and their coaching staff, and just kind of because could have been touch and go, but obviously we went through a couple rounds and we're in a good spot. So we won't have a full complement of guys, but we'll have enough to we'll have a lot more than we had last week, which is great.
We'll go with Andrew.
Yeah, do you expect Comesso back, and is there any concern that you guys someone might leave to try out for the Olympics on your roster?
Comesso is back. Yeah, he's okay. He made it back. I know he had unbelievable tough travel coming home, where he was almost like a day and a half, 2 days. That was one of the reasons why he wasn't with us this past weekend. We just said go home. He didn't have Christmas, so he got a little time there. As far as the Olympics, I'm not too sure. I haven't had a ton of conversation. I did talk to Quinny a bit, but I don't know that anything's been finalized or whatnot. I haven't spoken with him, and I was just kind of calling, congratulating him on the job. But we didn't really. We had talks about some guys, but nothing certain as of now. Worried? Not too worried about it. I think if one of our guys had an opportunity to represent the country in the Olympics, would be a great honor for them. It'd be good for the program, be good for the individual, and we wish them well if that did happen. The timing of it's not great. I think we lost Greenway a few years back, which was not great, losing him for the Beanpot. But those are the breaks at times.
Laura, go ahead.
You mentioned the age on Arizona State's roster and sort of their leadership and maturity. How does that how do you expect to see that sort of correlate on the ice?
Well, they've got a lot of experienced guys, and they've got guys, from a lot of different programs, and I think they've done a good job of merging all those new players into what they're trying to do. You look like they're pretty organized in how they play, and they play extremely hard and physical. So we're going to have to make sure we're ready to battle. I think those one-on-one battles and those stick battles that you get into and plays in around the net, they're going to have some age and some strength to them. So we're going to have to be ready to battle in those little small areas.